women that sell their body are demonic. And the reason why they're demonic is because they have a succubus spirit. They have a narcissistic personality. All they want to do is drain a man, spiritually, mentally, and financially. They don't want to give a man life. They don't want to, support his vibration, up his vibration. They want to lower his vibration by selling their body. This is a very, very selfish act. When it come down to women selling their body, they don't value themselves. These type of women, they have very, very low self-esteem, very low self-esteem. And a lot of times these women, the environment that they grew up in was in a single mother household. They come from single mother households, a lot of these women. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. And they seen their mother, have drug dealers run in and out the house. And their mother was doing it because their mother couldn't keep a man. She was a narcissist. She was a succubus. She was a woman that sold sex for money. They seen their mother doing this. They seen their mother, with this succubus spirit, with this demonic spirit. And they picked up off of that. They fed off of that. They fed off of their mother's energy. Their mother, done slept with a lot of dudes. And now she got 3, 4, 5 kids. And instead of her getting a second job, and make an honest living, she don't want to accept the fact that she made bad decisions with her womb. So she really just sell her body to different guys, and drain men for money, because she has low self-esteem, because she's lazy, So guys, you guys got to understand, man, that these women are very, very demonic. These women that sell their bodies. You do not want to end up in a situation like this. This is why I tell you guys to, when it comes down to dealing with women in this world, you got to understand that you shouldn't want to try to reel a woman in or try to persuade a woman or try to, get a woman to like you by using your money, because you're going to end up with a prostitute. Yeah. This is what you're going to end up with when you try to use your money to try to get women. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to drain your soul. They're going to drain your life. They're going to suck the life out of you as a man. A lot of you guys, y'all don't know y'all worth. Unfortunately, this is what guys was taught to do. We was taught to be tricks, and the only way a woman will, have sex with us or genuinely care for us only if we just spend money. We have to spend our money first in order for women to care for us or to have sexual intercourse with us. But that's not true, guys. See, a lot of you guys, y'all end up with these type of women, these narcissistic women, these women that sell their body for money, and trust me, unfortunately, these women, they be just draining men. These women just be draining men. And I'm not just blaming the women because, they're just selling their bodies, but a lot of you guys, I'm blaming a lot of you guys because y'all are taught this. And I'm not even blaming the men. I'm not even going to blame men because we're taught this as men to be tricks. You know what I'm saying? And that's the wrong way. We shouldn't interact with each other, men and women, based off of just what we have, based off of materialism. We should interact with each other and have sexual intercourse with each other based off of our vibration and our spirit and our consciousness. Our higher level consciousness, man, our knowledge, our wisdom, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of these women, they rather have sex with a man just because they bought them something, instead of having sex with the man that actually taught them something. See, they care about materialism so much, they don't even value themselves. They don't even value their body. A woman that doesn't value her body is a woman that just have very, very low self-esteem. She's very, very low vibrational. Guys, women that sell their body, trust me, you do not want to deal with these type of women. You do not want to try to use your money to use it in exchange for sex from a woman. Because this is how a woman going to deal with you. This is how a woman going to view you, as a trick. And this is how a lot of you guys get scammed. A woman selling her body, a woman, doing that, that's scamming you. Because really, a woman not supposed to be having sex with you because of what you give her materialistically. She's supposed to have sex with you based off of your vibration, based off of, your knowledge, something that can't be bought. You know what I'm saying? Your energy, because she really, really like you. She's really interested in you. This is why a woman's supposed to be having sex with you, not because of what you purchase her. Because the things that you purchase are temporal, but knowledge and wisdom can last a woman a lifetime. You know, a lot of women, unfortunately, they might not know that, or they just so selfish, and they think, you know, everything is about materialism and all this type of stuff, and they worship materials. You know, like a lot of these women. You know, a woman that sells her body is a woman that sells her soul. You know, if a woman is selling her soul for money, for material gain, that woman is an evil woman. That woman is a low vibrational woman. That woman is not high vibrational. That woman has low self-esteem. Her self-esteem is in the ground. She don't value her body. If a woman does not value her body, she doesn't value her mind. She doesn't value anything. She doesn't value, you know, she don't care about what type of energy that comes around her, that goes up in her. That's a woman that don't care about herself. She don't care about her soul. You know, she doesn't, matter of fact, she's soulless. She doesn't have a soul. Her spirit is, you know, is numb. She's very numb. She's cold-hearted. Very, very numb. Guys, you don't want to deal with these type of women. I'm telling you guys. These women that's selling their body and they think that that's the right thing to do is actually not the right thing to do. Because all those different energies, you know, that woman is absorbing. You know, if a woman don't care what type of man go up in her, you know, and a lot of these women that sell their body, they don't care if you're an evil man or not. They don't care. They do not care. Because they are evil. You know, they're not, you know, right mentally. Their vibration is not high. You know, they had a lower vibration, guys. You guys got to look out for these women. Because a lot of these women, they might be good looking. You know, because a lot of these women are attractive. You know, a lot of these attractive women, they don't mind selling their body for money. A lot of them don't. Because they don't know their worth. They got low self-esteem. And they don't value themselves at all. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, I'm trying to tell you, man, a woman that sells her body is demonic. She's evil. She's evil. And I'm just telling you the truth. You know, a lot of you guys don't want to hear this because a lot of you guys are taught to be tricks and you like tricking off your money. But when you sleep with that woman, you taking on all the energies that she slept with. You taking on all those energies. You know, you bringing all those energies. She's transferring all those energies into you. You know, and you wonder why you feel funny after you know, have sex with her. Or you don't feel, you know, something, you don't feel right. You feel low vibrational after you're done having sex with her. Because these women that sell their bodies, they low vibrational. So they're going to make you low vibrational based off of their energy. See, their energy is going to make you low vibrational. When you have sex with low vibrational energy, women that's selling sex, you know, selling what's between their legs, is going to drain your energy as well. Because her self-esteem is low. Very, very low. You guys got to be careful, man, out here. Because unfortunately, a lot of these women, they're doing it. You know. And, of course, you know, prostitution is the oldest business, you know. And people just, they see it as the norm. You know, they're not viewing it. Women, they're not viewing prostitution from a spiritual standpoint. They're viewing it from a worldly standpoint. And they think that, you know, what they doing is good. You know. Oh, I'm finessing. They like doing it. You know, a lot of these women like doing it. You know, if a woman can have sex with you and not even want you, but only just want you because of what you have, that woman right there is cold-hearted. She's soulless, bro. She's cold. She'll sleep with anybody for money. You know, and she's really, really lazy. You know, a lot of these women, they do this, unfortunately, because they're lazy. You know, a lot of these women are lazy. You know, they rack up a whole bunch of kids. You know, they go out in the street, have sex with a dude that's a drug dealer. You know, she got, you know, she got see, a lot of these women, they have prostitution mindsets. They're raised to have prostitution mindsets by society, by their mothers, by their dads. You know, a lot of women are raised to have prostitution mindsets. So they raised to have toxic, demonic, low vibrational energy. They raised off of that. And I'm trying to tell you guys, these women, they're not right. You know, their energy is not right. You know, these women are soulless. These are the type of women that are soulless, bro. That don't care. You know, and then when they get smashed, you know, once they you know, have sex with that drug dealer, right? You know, because you know, a lot of these women, they like street dudes that sell drugs and all this type of stuff because of the money, right? Because of the money and the lifestyle. So they'll sleep with these dudes thinking that they're going to come up off of these dudes by using sex, right? Trying to manipulate them with sex. And then they end up getting manipulated and getting used up. And then they have 2 or 3 kids by that dude. Now, you know, they want a guy that's decent, you know, with income after that. You know, to trick on them and to acting like they're such a good girl when they really not. A lot of these women are not good women because of how they raised. Their mindsets are toxic. Majority of women are raised to be narcissistic. That's just a fact. Majority of women, they're raised to be narcissistic. They're raised to not to give. I'm not saying all of them, but the majority. They're raised to not to give. They only raised to, you know, let's see if I can, you know, use my body, use what's between my legs to get what I want out of a man. You know, this is what women are raised to be. To have prostitution mindsets. To be lazy. You know, a lot of these women. And what they end up doing is, by them being raised wrong to have prostitution mindsets, they go out look for dudes in the streets that, you know, that's flashing, drug dealers, all this type of guy, tricks and all that in the streets, that's flashing, showing money and all that. And they end up, you know, getting played by those type of dudes. Because those type of dudes know that they got bad energy. Them type of dudes know that they got wrong motives. Because you are supposed to like a person because of their spirit, their vibration, their knowledge, their wisdom that they can impute. Not based off of what they are, you know, giving you money, which is money. That's not why you're supposed to do that. Because everybody needs money to survive. You know, we just live in a materialistic realm. You know, and if you have a prostitution mindset towards a man, and you think that man is going to, you know, not going to detect that and is not going to play you, you are sadly mistaken. That man is going to treat you bad. And I'm not telling guys to treat women bad, but in a you know, in a certain standpoint, you are what you attract because you growed up with a toxic mindset. So you're toxic by being a gold digger. So you're going to attract toxic men in your life. You're going to, you know, go after toxic men because you're toxic. You want to sleep with somebody, have sex with somebody only because of what they got, what they need to survive. Like, that is so low down. You only want to have sex with somebody because of, you know, what they need to survive. This is why a lot of you women get played by street dudes. Because y'all, you know, y'all see these dudes, they tricking, and y'all talk to be prostitutes, and y'all think that y'all finna get y'all, that's a real man. A man that's a trick. That's not a real man. You know, this is what happened. When you try to scam a man out of what he has with what's between your legs, you end up getting tricked. See, the trick get tricked. See, you got a mindset of being a trick because you're trying to manipulate a man in exchange of materialistic items. So you got a trick mindset. You trying to scam, you trying to be a trick. So when you get tricked by a trick, then you want to act like, no, he was wrong. Nah, you was wrong because you came with bad intentions. So guys, man, I'm just telling you about these type of women. Women that serve their bodies, they are demonic, man. It's cold, man.